What is going on, guys? Kraft here, Facebook group Bull Around Pickers Arms, coming at you with another casual video today, guys. I wanted to talk with you real quick about eBay promoted listings, and I know it's something that we've gone on quite a great length in the past, but I just wanted to touch base on some of the recent discoveries that I've had. Now, this video is being recorded on February 11th. I'm not exactly sure when you're going to be seeing it or when it's going to be coming out. I'm putting together some videos in advance. Basically, when I feel like shooting, I'm just going to sit down and start shooting. Some of the videos are going to be a little more super in-depth, and some of the videos are just going to be a little more casual, like this one, without a whole bunch of special effects and such. But I wanted to talk with you about the post that I put up. With some of the restructuring that I'm doing, I really want to lean into the community, and I want to get a better idea of what's actually affecting the day-to-day sellers, people like myself, people like you, and I want to get a bit of a feedback. I know websites like e-commerce bites, they have their EKG meter, which basically talks about the pulse and the heartbeat of the community, but it's all self-reporting. Somebody has an issue with the site, they put a thing up, and it doesn't really give us much of a full perspective exactly what's happening, because there's not much conversation and not much dialogue going on. I want to be able to use this platform to be able to open up that dialogue, to be able to listen to your concerns and your issues that you're having as sellers, and then in hopes be able to produce a much larger video on the problems that sellers are having every single day, because a large, big production video has the opportunity of being seen by people who actually make a difference within the community, people who are working within eBay's dev teams, Amazon's dev teams, Mercari's social media and online presence teams, the people who need to hear our voices the most. So today I want to talk with you about promoted listings. Now, if you didn't see the post that I put up, I said, ever download your CSV promoted listing report? These numbers are absolutely mind-blowing to me. Now, if you're not a part of that community, the link will be down below if you want to join. It's completely free. What exactly are we paying for? Again, feel free to share outside of this group if you'd like. And the reason I put that is I wanted to be able to get out. If people need to see what's going on and they want to see this graphic, they can. In this graphic, I said the issues with promoted listings. I've showed the impressions, the clicks, and the sales on a very specific item. It's 2018 Topps Stranger Things Season 1 Complete Scene of Sticker Cards, the Chase set, and I have these listed for $14.99. Relatively cheap item, but what I found very, very shocking was the total number of impressions. I went ahead and rounded it off to 750K. It's actually 747,000, and that means that the number of people who saw this ad and then actually clicked on the listing because of a promoted listing was 0.034%. Okay, a very, very small number. What is that? 3.4 clicks per 1,000 views. I believe that is what that works out to. So it's a very, very small number of people who are actually converting through and then clicking on the item. What gets even worse than that, okay, is of that, there was 3 sales that were generated, which is a 0.0004 or 4 in 10,000 actually, is it 4? No, it's 4 in 100,000, something to that effect, actually converted through to sales. Maybe my numbers are wrong, but guys, it's a tiny number of people who are actually converting. And now I know what you're wondering too. Jay, well, what level of promoted are you using? 3%. And I know you're wondering why. Why are you using 3%, Jay? Well, historically, I talked about using 1%. And 1% was the gold standard, because why spend more? You were originally getting 2 placements within promoted at 1%, as well as the placements being a bit more varied. And now here's the thing. When promoted first came out, it wasn't bad. The first iteration of promoted was actually okay. And now maybe I'm just having a bit of, missing the better version. I don't necessarily feel it was great for the eBay ecosystem as a whole, but as Devin Wedding said himself, if you want to trade a bit of revenue in exchange for some velocity, you could. And I was okay doing that at 1%, because at 1% your listing would show up twice. Now, Jeremy Vega in the comments is the one who pointed that out, and I kind of lost sight of that because it was over a year ago that promoted became a thing. eBay's target to generate an extra $1 billion in advertising revenue over 2019 just through promoted alone. So I had forgotten that we were getting 2 impressions originally. We had potentially the promoted listing presence of it, and then we also had the organic search buried down somewhere in between. Now, I want to cover a couple of the basics, some things that you might not know regarding promoted listings. You're paying a percentage of your choosing, anywhere between 1% to I mean, the max percent, which I think is 60 or 70% of your sale price in exchange for eBay to show your listing to more potential buyers. And this could mean anything from somebody just searching for Topps trading cards. They might not necessarily be looking for Stranger Things, but if you're paying for promotion, you might show up in that. Now, it's not just search, it's also sidebar, which is going to be your side advertisements to the side of your listings. You're also eligible to be in the carousel, which is the rolling list of items at the bottom, and then your placement within organic search. Now, or excuse me, not organic search, your placement within the top of search. Now, historically, again, when we look back, the way that promoted listings was done before is that it was blended in, okay? And it was really annoying because if you were going on there and searching for something, the listings, even if you selected price plus shipping lowest first, it would really screw up the search, which in turn led to a bad buying experience for the consumer. So they said, okay, well, let's just move them up to the top. And they were using slots 1, 4, 5, and 8 for a while. That was, and sometimes they would add in 9 and 12. And I'll try and put an on-screen visual if I have time to do it in post to show you what I'm talking about. And now they've switched to where it's item slots 1 through 5. Okay. And this might not seem like a big change, but it's actually a massive change. And I know I'm going on a lot of tangents here, but historically, when you paid for promoted listings, getting that extra placement in search, you'd have 1 at the top, wherever the placement was, and that's if you were eligible and you won the lottery for that search. And then you would also have your organic one down below. Now, after the last update that eBay did, they said, oh, no, we're just going to do 1 now. It might be this one at the top, but it also might be this one down below, but you shouldn't get both. And the reason why they did that is because they felt that buyers were getting frustrated seeing the same item twice, okay? I know. They were upset that people were seeing the same item twice. Yet, if you type in any number of 100 or 200,000 different type of electronic items, you're going to see the exact same stock photo 30 or 40 times over for identical items being sold by different sellers, all from the same country. We know where they're coming from. So, the new promoted listings, where you're only getting 1 impression, it's not really worth it as much. Here, I'm going to step through some of the other comments because, like I said, I'm really shocked to see how bad the conversion is going. One of the other things, Jeremy Vega, that I spoke with him about too, was, do we actually know if this is doing a damn thing at all? Really, do we know if promoted listings is actually converting to sales for anyone? We can know that eBay is presenting the item, but is that the item that the buyer wanted anyways? If the buyer had seen an organic listing, would it have converted? And one of the other big questions is, what's the difference between 1%, 3%, 10%, and 80%? Is there an actual intrinsic difference in conversion rates? And without having all of this data, again, it makes it very difficult to tell how you should be using promoted listings and I guess the effectiveness of it on the site. Donna said she shared some of her stats, and she had some really, really good commentary regarding her experience with it. She said, to be honest, I think with promoted listings that it is usually only buying you exposure within the eBay site and often doesn't help bring new buyers in from outside of eBay. Now, eBay has stated that the promoted listings, that money isn't necessarily ever spent off-site. Okay, they said that this is to, the promoted listing money goes to first-party advertising, so on-site advertising only. The money that's being spent off-site, money that's being spent on Google Shopping, Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, third-party banner ads on other sites, that's coming from eBay's internal ad and marketing spend. She said, if eBay sales is generally, if they are declining and more people are using promoted listings, then the danger is that sellers keep upping their promoted listings percentage to compete, and then ultimately preaching to a smaller and smaller choir over time, so it becomes less effective. Now, not only did we talk about this here, which is fantastic that we had the opportunity to have this talk, is the fact that we're now starting to experience for the first time within not only this generation, but on this platform, true advertising fatigue. Because if I have an item that's been presented 750,000 times, okay, paid to be there 750,000 times, it's a beautiful listing that is priced appropriately. and it's only getting 260 clicks from a captive audience, and then of that converting to 3 sales, something is wrong with the process through there. Okay, either we're starting to see advertising fatigue where consumers, especially my age group of consumers, are learning to just simply not see the content. Okay, right now I want you to think, what was the last banner ad you saw on the side of this YouTube webpage? Okay, what was the last banner ad you remember seeing scrolling through any other web page? What was the last ad you saw on Facebook? You may have remembered seeing an ad and then flicking right past it. And you may have remembered that there was a stack of promoted listings at the top of your search, but you may have already flicked past it to the relevant results. And what I feel we're going to start seeing is we're going to start seeing a downturn in the amount of, or the value, and I put this on here, the value of traditional banner ads and embedded and paid placement type ads. And we're going to see a proportional increase in the value of influencer ad and influencer promoted type items. So the marketplace is going to start making a shift. And I'll be honest, eBay promoted listings will become a $1 billion brand for eBay within 2020. But the problem is no one cares. Okay. The value of this advertising is going to start diminishing over time as the market, as Donna has put out here, starts becoming very, very saturated. If, I've said this before on air, if everyone is special, no one is special.
The self-esteem movement revolved around a single notion, the single idea that every child is special.
To be special, it must be individual, it must be unique, it must have specific character and charm to it, it must stand alone on its own. If we take these items and we put them all the way at the top and they're supposed to be characteristic and stand on their own and be these specially placed items to get this extra attention for actual conversion, they have to be the part. But if 100% of the base starts using promoted listings, nothing is actually promoted at that point. Okay, so if things are already being randomly placed within search, okay, and I can't control whether or not my item shows up on the first page, the second page, or the third page, if it can happen in any one of those scenarios, why should I pay to have it placed within the first 5 items where it's already being flicked on by? Guys, that's my concerns with promoted listings. I just wanted to have a quick talk with you, and I don't want to drone on about it, but give it some thought, give it some consideration. If you haven't joined our community, check out the link down in the description below. On top of that, guys, we're back. We're better than ever. If you want to check out our Patreon, link is down below. You can support this content and other content that we do as well. Remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. Have a great day.
Every child is clearly not special. Isn't every adult special too? And if not, then at what age do you go from being special to being not so special? And if every adult is special, then that means we're all special, and the whole idea loses all its fucking meaning.